Hey guys, I'm glad you stopped by. So today, for dessert, I thought we would do something that, I guess it would be traditionally more towards a holiday dessert or side dish maybe, but it just sounded really good. And I didn't even realize what it exactly was, and it's not exactly a Waldorf salad. Sorry, my mouth is just not cooperating with me today. But it's not exactly a Waldorf salad, but it is called an apple salad, and it is on another one of these handy dandy cards. I don't know who wrote this recipe out, no clue, but it did present some challenges, which is how I found out that it closely resembled a Waldorf salad. Because all it says, it has a list of things that we're gonna heat up on the stovetop real quick, which I have yet to see a Waldorf salad recipe that did that. I didn't look a lot, but I didn't see any. And then you mix it with the other ingredients, which are apples, celery, chopped nuts, which we're gonna use walnuts, marshmallows, grapes, and pineapple. And it doesn't say on here how much of any of that, which is why I ended up looking up apple salad, and that led me down a rabbit hole of different apple salads, most of them being a traditional salad with lettuce, greens, apples, a vinaigrette dressing, and then Waldorf salads. But I really want to try this with her recipe because it has some things in it that didn't normally go with a Waldorf salad, at least not the ones I saw. So we're gonna do that, right? I think it'll be fun. I think it'll be good, tasty. It sounds refreshing. Even though I know we're heading into fall, it is apple season. And I thought, why not, right? Sounds good. It's apple season. It's got apples, hence the apple salad. If you are new to my channel and this is your first video, welcome. I'm glad you stopped by. I do have a tendency to ramble on, but if you can tolerate that, I think we have some pretty good recipes around here and lots of fun. We do have 500 plus other videos you can check out if you so desire. If you are returning or one of our new subscribers, welcome back and thank you. If you have yet to subscribe, you can do that now while I'm talking. Just go ahead and hit the subscribe button, notification bell. Don't forget to share, right? Hit the thumbs up. Those are all important. Yeah, and comment. Commenting is like the most amazing thing ever, and I respond to all of them. No matter how many they are, no matter what is said, I respond. And I try never to respond. I don't think I ever have responded meanly, because that's one thing I ask. Think before you type. Don't be mean. Think before you type. That's the rule, right? So that being said, I will give you all your measurements in cups, tablespoons, teaspoons, and also in grams and milliliters. So that way, no matter where you're at, we can all play along and have a good time. So why don't we head on down here to the counter now, and we'll get started on making the sauce that goes with this salad. All right, hold on for me just 1 second. All right, we are down here at the counter. So, well, actually, we're at the stovetop, right? We're not even at the counter. First thing we're going to do is we have to make the sauce that's going to go over our list of said chopped diced ingredients. So we'll get this started up. We're going to heat it up on a medium low, and into our small sauce pot, we are going to add, I forgot, a half a cup, 110 grams worth of light brown sugar, right there. 1 egg, 50 grams, and I've got that scrambled, right, already pre-beaten. Throw that in, like that. And then we are going to add 5 tablespoons, 75 milliliter of white vinegar. In fact, I'll put that in my egg bowl there, and then that way we can get that little bit of egg that's left in there out, because we don't want to waste nothing, right? And then we will add 1 tablespoon, 14 grams of butter, and I'm using unsalted butter. This recipe in particular didn't suggest either way, but all I buy is unsalted butter. I like to control the salt, so we'll see if it needs salt. I don't think it will, but you never know. I think the vinegar will give it enough savory and boost the flavor. And then I have 2 tablespoons, 18 grams worth of regular all-purpose flour. Get that in. We'll give this all a quick stir real quick. And then the last ingredient for our sauce is going to be, a little bit of flour in there. It's going to be 1 cup, 240 milliliters of just plain old regular water. I'm using tap water, but you could use filtered water, bottled water, whatever water you like, obviously. But plain old tap water will work. I know some people swear by spring water, filtered water, and such, but not necessary in this world. So what we're going to do now is we are going to stir this, not quickly, just give it a nice consistent stir until the butter melts and it starts to thicken. That's what we're looking for, is for it to thicken. And then we should be in good shape. Alright, so now that our sauce is bubbling and it's starting to thicken up, we're going to go ahead and take it off the heat so that way we can get it to cool down a little bit. Last thing we want to do is pour this boiling hot sauce over top of a bunch of vegetables and nuts and fruits. So there, we want to let it cool. But as I was stirring around here, I noticed some little white spots, that may have appeared in here, and I may have not been stirring it consistently the entire time. Basically, some of my egg cooked, which is okay. I mean, that's okay. So how do you fix that, you say? What do we do, Brian? How's this gonna work? Well, it's easy. It's an easy fix. First, we gotta do is move our scale, which if you don't own a scale, you should. They're the best thing in the entire world. But we're gonna take our sauce, this strainer here, and I'm gonna set it over top of another bowl, and I'm simply gonna pour this through the strainer, just like such. And that way, it doesn't matter what didn't cook, overcooked, or what, be said, it will end up in the strainer and not in our sauce. Not that, let's be honest, not that it would be the end of the world if there were a few specks of egg white in the salad. I bet you 99%, I would bet you. I would almost lay odds on it, and I would probably win if you bet against me, that nobody would actually notice the whatever it was that didn't cook. In this case, it's the egg. But this is what you do with a custard pie. Like if you're making a custard pie and you don't, and you end up with a little bit of cooked egg in it, you would just run it through a strainer like that, and then see, voila, all the egg is out. And we won't have it in there. So now we need to let this cool. And while we're letting that cool, I will introduce you to the other players of this game. As soon as I go get a bowl to put them in, I'll be right back. Okay, so I'm back, right? Bowl. And you want a large mixing bowl, serving bowl. This is a ceramic mixing bowl. It also is nice enough that I can use it to serve with if necessary. And I can put satin wrap over top of it, plastic wrap, to hold it. But first thing we're going to put in here is going to be 300 or 402 pounds or 402 grams, almost a full pound of diced apples. It's 3 cups worth, and I am using Pink Lady and Fuji apples. You use whatever apples you like. I would recommend towards a sweeter red apple, but if you want the tart, it might be good to mix them both up. And all I did was run them through, because they're little slices, and all I did was run it through my apple core right here, and then chop them up, which if I did this right, you'll see it over in this corner, one of the 2 corners, an example of what I was doing. But to this 3 cups, 402 grams worth of apples, I have got 1 cup. Did I write it down? No, I did not. Ooh, let's weigh it. What do you say? Let's get the scale out. and we'll just weigh these grapes. And we'll see, and you use what kind of grapes you like. I had the grapes that were available, basically. They had grapes on sale this week. I'm guessing at the grocery store. Well, I mean, they did have them on sale, but there was like none to choose from. 150 grams, 1 cup of your favorite grape. Now, if they are the larger grapes, like a red grape or a green grape, you can cut them in half. These are actually really small black grapes, and they're so good, so sweet, and got a great flavor to them. But that's what I got, and they're small enough. I don't have to cut. I'm not going to cut them up. Now, if they were a larger red grape, I would absolutely cut them in half. So we're going to go ahead and put those in there, and then I've got one 20-ounce can, which is 1 pound 4 ounces, or 566 grams of pineapple, and they're the tidbits, and the can is drained, so they're about the same size as the apple that I cut up. We'll go ahead and get that in there, but you want to make sure the juice is out of them, or you will have one very thin sauce on your hands when it's all said and done. On top of that, we're going to add, so we've got all this fruit in here and all this sweetness, so we're going to add something to kind of contradict that, and that is celery. I have 1 cup, 110 grams of diced celery. Yeah, and I've finely diced it. I mean, it's pretty small, you know, all the same. And I think it's going to be perfect, but what that'll do is it'll kind of help to start balancing some of this sweetness, because we're going to have more sweetness, believe it or not. And give it a really cool flavor. Celery and apple actually go very well together, along with grape. I mean, it all kind of works. It's neat. And now you're getting your vegetables and natural fruit. Half a cup, 60 grams of toasted chopped walnuts. You could probably also use pecans if that's what you so desire. But you need a half a cup of a chopped nut at 75 grams. So we'll go ahead and get that in there. Then the last ingredient, and the funnest ingredient in my opinion, 1.5 cups, 150 grams of mini marshmallows, right? You could even use colored marshmallows. Did you know that they even sell Lucky Charms marshmallows? Just in the bag, marshmallows. That is insane. Nobody needs those marshmallows. They're so unhealthy, so unhealthy. Although they are good in cereal. But anyhow, we're going to go ahead and get those marshmallows in there, and then we're just going to let this sit for a second while that sauce cools down some more. And then we can talk about what we're doing after that. Okay, guys, so we've got our fruits, vegetables, marshmallows, nuts, all in a bowl. Our sauce is cooled, no longer steaming and wanting to melt my face. You can, I know because I did it, put this in the fridge to help it to cool a little quicker. The only thing I recommend, even though it seemed to have worked its way back in, is you might want to put like a little bit of saran wrap or plastic wrap on the top of it and just vent it, in a corner, because it did get a skim coat. But like I said, I took a spoon, stirred it all back together, and we are rocking and rolling. Now, all we have to do, now that it's cool, is we're going to go ahead and pour this on our salad, or our apple salad, and get it stirred in real well. Okay, so we got her mixed up, and everything is coated, do you believe? Yep. So now what do we do? Well, first, I'll show it to you. There we are. It's quite beautiful. It looks amazing. I have not tried it yet, and I'm not going to. I am not going to try this yet because I want to taste it how it's supposed to be. And then we can play with it afterwards. But because remember, any other time I tell you, when you're making something, you add kind of what you want into it. Maybe a little more of this, a little less of that. But when you're trying something for the first time, just to see what somebody was, kind of trying to head towards, you don't want to deviate too much. So I did not. But what we're going to do now is I am going to put wrap over top of this, and I'm going to stick it back in the refrigerator, and I'm going to let it sit for a minimum of 2 hours. It says on here to refrigerate, but it didn't say how long. It just says it'll hold up to 2 weeks if you cover it. But I'm going to say a couple hours, get everything nice and cold, and then when I come back, we can give this a shot, see how it tastes. All right, I'll see you here in just 1 second. Okay, guys, so it's actually been longer than a couple hours. It's the next day. Life got in the way. Had to go to work, and it sat in the fridge, which is okay. The more I thought about it, if it is truly like a Waldorf salad, that's funny. By the way, the name of the Waldorf salad comes from the hotel, the Waldorf Hotel, and it was actually created in 1896. The salad was. So there's a little side note. But anyhow, it is the next morning. It has sat overnight, and if it stands to reason, this should actually be better than if we had just waited a couple hours, because it really had time to marinate. The fruit and all that had time to soak up that sauce. Yeah, so we should be in even better shape than beforehand. And like I said, most of the recipes I saw for the Waldorf salad, oh, why I want to say that backwards, recommended letting it sit longer because it actually helped break down the marshmallows a little and add a little bit of that flavor to it. But there we are, right? Looking good. I mean, it looks fantastic. And if anybody's curious, yes, this is a shower cap. It's never been used for anything but to cover my bowls with. I started doing that, I don't know, a few months ago. It just made sense because, like, they don't make lids for this bowl, you know, or any of my other bowls. So I have a series of shower caps in different sizes I use. But we're going to go ahead and give this a good stir just to make sure we are where we need to be. And then we will serve some up in a handy dandy little side bowl here. I love this china set. I mean, I don't use it every day. Matter of fact, the only time I really use it is when I'm talking to you guys or on special occasions, holidays, so on and so forth. And then, because we have it, the other china set we have two others, is the gold ones you see that are gold and then white in the center. And then we have ones that are just for Christmas, but I really had to have this set. But there we are right there, served up nice and beautiful. So now all we have to do is give it a try. I'm really excited to see how this turned out. The vinegar that we put in it, I know when I tried a little bit, sorry, I'm gonna move you around a little bit. I feel like we're a little cockeyed there, but when I had tried the sauce yesterday with the vinegar in it, it kind of almost tasted like a Granny Smith caramel apple. I mean, that's the best way I could describe it, but not quite as caramely. So I'm curious to see how it plays in with all this other, but let's go ahead and give it a try. Get some marshmallow in there, some apple, some pineapple. There we go. And some of the grape, get a little bit of everything in there along with the sauce. And let's see how we did. All right. That is really good. Yeah. So the sauce isn't vinegary anymore. At least you can't taste it. It's not dominant. And it's just got this, I don't know how to describe it other than it's wonderful. That is really good. It's very refreshing. The fruit is very nice. The celery is not overbearing by any means. That's in it. Everything complements each other nicely. This is fun. Yeah. You got to try this. Hands down. When you get a piece of that apple, it does taste like a caramel apple. The pineapple just, it adds a nice, I don't even know how to describe it. Other than it's light, it's refreshing. It sweet, but not horribly sweet. You don't taste any of the vinegar in it. The celery, because you know how celery can get over really dominant fast. Not dominant at all. Not at all. It's really very well balanced. And I can honestly say I'm proud of us in this aspect, because this recipe originally, I don't know how well you can see that, but there's the ingredients list. There is no fruits, marshmallows, or vegetables on it. It's literally just the sauce. So we had to come up with all the other stuff, on our own from other recipes. So we put this together, right? This is kind of ours, in a way. I mean, the sauce isn't. I really wish I knew who to give credit for that, because that really is good, but we kind of inadvertently created something. Proud of you. Hands down. Give this a try. Let me know if you do. You won't go wrong. Your family and friends will definitely like this. This would be good for game day or a holiday or a get together or a gathering or bringing the neighbors over, whatever. And I guarantee they're going to like it. It makes for a nice little side dish, a little refreshment, so to speak, before the, events begin. I like it. But let me know if you do, or if you have something similar you do. I would love to hear about it down in the comments below. Next week, I'm not sure. I'm not sure what we're doing. I've got all kinds of videos lined up to do. I've got my friend Niles gave me his pickled egg recipe. I don't know if you've ever had a pickled egg, but if you're going to try one, this would be the recipe to try. They are absolutely amazing, and I only hope I do it justice. I've got an enchilada sauce, like a mole sauce coming up that I want to do. There's a couple different things I want to look at extracts, but that'll be kind of a long-term project. I mean, I've got vanilla running right here, and this vanilla is actually almost 2 years old. It was made in December of 23, and we've just been letting it sit around, and we give it a shake about once a week or so, just for prosperity, keep it in a nice dark, cool place. I just brought them upstairs to the basement here recently, but I want to try to do some orange, some lemon, just a variety of different extracts. I'm also venturing into tinctured stuff, things like that. For the herbs and stuff we have out in the garden. But anyhow, I'm getting sidetracked. I am going to go share this with the rest of the family, and I know they're going to smile and giggle just as much as I have about it, because it's really, really good. But until then, until next week, I love you. I love you very much, and I mean that from the bottom of my heart. Tell somebody else you love them and you love them very much. They may need to hear it, and even if they don't, it's going to make them smile and make them feel good. Either way it goes, it's always good to know you're loved. It's going to make you feel good and smile to tell them. That I guarantee. I know it does, always does me. And you make them some of this apple salad, I guarantee they're going to grin from ear to ear. And it's going to lead to some good conversation. I guarantee it. Have a nice little bowl of that, or a big bowl of that for that matter. That would be good in a bigger bowl. And lots of conversation. And there's enough there. You can invite the neighbors. The mailman, give something to him. Invite the guy walking the dog down the street. The family of 3. All that stuff. Maybe invite some more friends over than you knew were already coming. But anyhow, till next week for dinner or whatever we get into, I love you, and I will see you then. All right? See you later. Bye-bye.